This is Bombo Dennis Hamito. Together with me, Bombo Eliza Eclarinal. First question, Mr. Ambassador. How is the situation right now in the Gaza Strip based on your monitoring, Mr. Ambassador, sir?
I can say with one word, it's devastation. We are devastated, absolutely devastated. Israel is continuing and escalating its war and aggressions against our innocent people in Gaza, you know, and the amount of destruction is unbelievable. Uh, the aftermath destruction by the Israeli air raids is unbelievable also. The number of casualties, both dead and injured are very high. We have almost 3,500 death cases, people who died, lost their lives. Among them, over 1,200 children
Mm-hmm.
and also women and old people. We have almost 12,500 injured. The situation is not good. The situation is absolutely terrifying. The hospital in Gaza medical facilities are absolutely paralyzed now, completely paralyzed. They run out of medical supplies. People are being sentenced to death openly by the Israeli occupation authority. So it's undescribable, and you cannot describe it as a matter of fact. There's no exact proper word for it, except it's a genocide.
Hmm. Excellency, what is the move taken by the Palestinian government so far regarding the war between the Israel and the Hamas militants? Are you also condemning the action made by Hamas militants, Mr. Ambassador?
Let me clarify something here.
Mm-hmm.
The condemnation business is not serving any of the sides except encouraging Israel to escalate its war and crimes against the civilians. I mean, what is the use of condemnation now? This is a question. I've seen world leaders condemn Hamas and gave a license to kill for Israel without even, you know, uh, uh, putting some conditions to be cautious or to avoid targeting the civilians. And instead of condemnation, we have to seek ways how to immediately stop this war against the civilians. So this is the question. We are trying through diplomatic channels with all our partners and friends and peace-loving people in the world. President Mahmoud Abbas is trying his best also, along with the regional and international leaders. So far, nobody could succeed to convince Israel to even open a corridor to bring in the relief materials uh, for Gaza Strip.
Okay. Ambassador, with me to this morning is Bombo Eliza Clarinal. Bombo Eliza, with your questions to Ambassador.
Okay, Ambassador, what's your take on the massive assault in the Gaza Strip by the Israeli forces?
This is just, they are committing massacres, carnage. It's a war crime. It's a violation of international law. They are doing it. Actually, this is a disgrace in the face of humanity, the free world. It's a disgrace to those world pioneer leaders who claim to be the torch bearers of freedom, human rights defenders. Look at what happened. They gave Israel a free hand to kill as many as they can, and in person they are visiting Israel and encouraging Israel to go ahead. This is absolutely mad, and this is absolutely unacceptable to us. It's absolute. Our blood is our lives are not lesser than Israeli lives. All people life, all civilian lives from all sides matters to us. They should immediately stop this carnage, this massacre against the civilian people in Gaza Strip.
Okay, in line with that, Ambassador, we would like to ask, are the Hamas are also Palestinians?
Hamas is an organization, Palestinian fighting organization, religiously motivated, believe in the liberation of Palestine in the possible means, and at the time that Israel rejection and denial to the Palestinian national inalienable rights, our national aspiration, they are not cooperating to solve this problem peacefully. So they have taken the decision to use all possible way to fight Israel, to liberate Palestine, to push the occupation back, to end this occupation. The problem is not between us and Israel. Things are normal. Israel is an occupation power. Everything comes from occupation. Occupation is absolutely not accepted. In Philippines, you have experienced occupation. What people remember about occupiers, except crimes and etc. 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 So it's the same in Palestine. Unfortunately, this occupation has been going on continuous for the last 75 years. Israel is behaving above the international law, is denying to implement the international law decisions on Palestine. They even did not respect their own agreement with us. So I'm not defending anybody, but Hamas is part of the Palestinian people, a very respectful part of the Palestinian population admire Hamas and respect Hamas because they are under pressure. If you see the daily practices of Israeli occupation army and the extremist settlers in the West Bank, the way they humiliate, the way they make our life miserable, definitely you will see anybody who's attacking Israel occupation army will be somehow satisfied. The question is this: why Israel is doing so? Why they don't want to pull back? This is the question. Why they are giving Hamas this opportunity or this chance or this way to fight them the same way they are doing right now? When how many millions or hundreds of thousands of 10,000 of civilian lives should be lost before this conflict ends? This question should be addressed to Israel, the occupying power. This question should be addressed to those superpowers who are backing Israel blindly. This is the question. Why when it comes to other issues, other crisis on other parts of the world stands for that issue and but not for Palestine? Are we lesser people than the other human beings? I don't think so.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador, joining us this morning is from Bombo Radio Iloilo. Okay, Bombo Radio Iloilo with your question to Ambassador.
Maayong aga, Ambassador. This is Bombo John of Bombo Radio Iloilo. Ambassador, you were quoted saying that the international community must ask Israel to stop the atrocities because what they're doing is beyond self-defense. Is this accurate, Ambassador?
Accurate, and I insist that it's gone beyond normal, and it's also this is not a self-defense. Let me ask a question here, please, to the viewers. If they really believe if genocide can be justified as a self-defense, if targeting United Nations schools, residential buildings, homes, hospitals, ambulances, aid, medical aid workers, farmers, children, is this a self-defense? This is the question. This is absolutely, vindictive mentality of Israel. That's running the war. It's not defending themselves. It's not a self-defense. This is revenge. This is killing as many as Palestinians they can.
Okay, from the Visayas, let's jump to Mindanao. Our station from South Cotabato, Bombo Radio Coronadal, with our question to Ambassador, please.
Good morning. This is Bombo Mira Servo from Bombo Radio Coronadal. Ambassador, what's your take on some other countries having themselves involved in the ongoing conflict in Israel and Gaza?
So my question is that why the international community is taking part of this against us, against civilians? If these people, if these superpowers, if international community should mediate, should have, a good intention, initiatives, should pressure Israel to open corridors for material relief materials, for medical materials, to save lives, not to encourage Israel to cause more loss of lives, innocent lives. This is international community. They have a moral duty. I don't believe that whenever they claim to be the human rights defendants in the world, when it comes to Palestine, they are partnering Israel in killing our people, our innocent people. This is absolutely unacceptable. And this will begets more violence, actually. Israel knows that this Palestinian people will not give up, will not surrender, no matter what. And they know us for 75 years. We never gave up, and we will never, and they know that we will never give up.
Okay, Ambassador, another question. As a Palestinian envoy, do you have any appeal to the public about the situation in conflict zone?
I appeal to the public, to the Philippine public, our brothers everywhere here in the Philippines. Please try to understand the real root of the story, the real root of the problem between us and Israelis. The real root problem between us and Israel, that Israel is an occupation power to Palestine. We did not invade Israel. Israel invaded us, occupied our homeland. This is the core problem of the whole problem. Once the occupation problem is over, there will be no problem between us and Israel. We are not, we are not in love. We are not fond of fighting, other nations. So what we seek, please, better understanding. Use pressure on Israel as a public opinion. So we seek a better standing from you, and a support also from you, for life savings of your brothers in Palestine.
Okay, Ambassador, also with us is Bombo Radyo Legaspi. Bombo Radyo Legaspi, please proceed with your question.
Marahay na aga, this is Bombo Rufaluzada of Bombo Radyo Legazpi. Ambassador, are you aware of the case of the two Hamas operatives who were deported from the Philippines sometime in 2018 because of extremism?
I read the statement made by the National Security Advisor here, but I was not here by then. The embassy was not yet established and opened by that time. I'm not aware of that. Government of the Philippines, they know their security, and we do not interfere. If we cannot be help to them, we will not oppose their measures to protect their own country and their own people.
Okay. Mr. Ambassador, how do you find the handling of the Philippine government on the Gaza and the Israel issue so far, Mr. Ambassador?
I mean, things cannot be said publicly on TV, but we have very instructive, very constructive meeting with the Secretary of DFA, and we are on the right path with the government of the Philippines, seeking better understanding also, and I think that we are in progress. Thank you so much, Dennis. Thank you very much, and good day to your viewers. Thank you very much.
Okay, that's Bombo Radio Philippines, ladies and gentlemen. That's Ambassador Saleh Mohammad, Palestinian ambassador to the Philippines, and we had discussion about the recent situation in the Gaza and Israel situation.